Hey, thanks for clicking that button. My name is Gordon Coyle, and in this video I want to tell you how I came to the conclusion that most business insurance programs are wrong and what you can do about it without costing you a ton of money. I want to start off by saying that I understand that no business leader really loves talking about or buying business insurance. The whole process is difficult, it's complex, and quite frankly, it can be a real pain in the ass. And I know that. But getting your business insurance right is important for your firm's protection and its sustainability. And I'm obsessive about helping businesses of all sizes getting it right. So for many years, probably the last 25 or so, I have worked with a number of advisors in a variety of fields, including accountants, private bankers, lawyers, private equity firms, investment banking firms, and many others to provide a risk and insurance review service to their clients. It could be in advance of an M&A transaction or just a pre-renewal service to make sure the client has the right protection and that it's optimized. During these reviews, I'm often startled by the inaccuracies of the programs we see. Sometimes it can be a very serious issue, sometimes it's a minor inaccuracy. But these issues, whether major or minor, just don't need to exist. The fault sometimes lies with the insurance broker who isn't stewarding the insurance program properly, and other times it can be the client's fault. They just don't respond to surveys and they don't engage in renewal discussions, or they say things like, just renew it like last year. Whatever the reason for the mistakes, errors, gaps, and overlaps, this is concerning because it only takes a minor error to be a big problem when a claim occurs. I can give you dozens of examples of errors I have found that could have led to a client's bankruptcy if the wrong claim had occurred. Now, I'm often asked, who's the most susceptible to problems like these? The answer is that the larger the account, the more complex it is and the more prone it is to gaps and errors. But that doesn't mean that small businesses are always properly insured. In fact, quite the contrary. Because many small businesses are buying insurance online without human interaction these days, many smaller firms are incorrectly insured since there's no expertise being applied at the time of sale. Regardless of the size of the client, a poorly written insurance program is going to have gaps and coverages in it. There's going to be missing policies. There could be overlaps in coverage. It can all lead to additional costs in the form of higher premiums, paying out of pocket for some claims that occur that aren't covered, and paying more for incorrectly rated or structured policies. The worst impact is when claims occur and coverage is limited or non-existent. That could trigger profits being spent to remediate claims that should have been covered, or worse, bankruptcy. Now, what does it cost to correct the problems I find? Look, I know that cost is always on the minds of decision makers, and my goal is to help that client so they can be a more informed buyer, not to sell them more insurance. The bottom line is that business insurance is supposed to provide a business owner peace of mind, clarity, and decision-making confidence. If it's not doing that, it's not doing its job. Now, to directly answer that question about what does it cost to fix the problems I find, in many cases, the cost increase is minimal, especially if it's just adjusting the limits and deductibles and structures. If there are missing coverage parts like not having a cyber insurance policy, that's going to be a bit higher. But as I mentioned earlier, that's up to you, whether you want to make that investment or not. My job is to show you where improvements can be made and why I would recommend those improvements. Last point, how difficult is it to find out what problems you may have and how to have them fixed? I do the heavy lifting. All I need to get started is a copy of your current policies. And with this information, I am not going to go out to the market. I am not going to shop for a better deal. This review is entirely confidential. I don't speak to anyone outside our firm about your coverages until you want us to. Once our review and report is completed, I'll schedule time with you to go over it together during a Zoom call. If you wish us to fix the problems we find, we'd be happy to do that, and all you need to do is assign us as your broker of record. That's it in a nutshell. Want to find more? Let's have a conversation. You can click on the calendar link below to find time in my schedule to chat. I promise, no high-pressure sales gimmicks or tricks, no nonsense. Just some conversation to see if we can help you gain greater confidence in your protection program and make sure you're being well protected. Thanks.